When people first come to my home, it's pretty obvious. I love blue and white china. I look for it in every gift shop.
And this with the shell motif is so gorgeous.
Every antique store.
This is where I started my china collection, is picking up pieces of blue willow that I could afford.
And every market.
Fantastic. You know, my love of blue and white china started with this little bitty Dutch boy right here. I remember this. It was a souvenir that my grandparents brought back from a trip to Aruba. And I don't even know when that was, in the late 40s or early 50s, I'm not sure. And I remember always seeing this at my grandmother's house, put up somewhere. It actually has a cork in the head. So I think it held some kind of liqueur or something, and was some little promotional something they bought from the Dutch West Indies. But I always thought he was fascinating. And he's famous now because when I was asked once about some of my favorite design influences, he appeared in the pages of Architectural Digest in the Great Design issue. So now he's quite a little guy. But he really started my love of blue and white china, and you can see that I now have it everywhere. You know, I consider blue and white my neutral. I actually feel like it fits into any color scheme. It just seems like it adds a freshness. To me, there are certain colors that fit into any area at any time, and that's green and it's blue. And I think it's because that you find that in nature. You find green grass, green trees, and then you have blue sky with white clouds on a perfect day. And that to me is what blue and white china adds to every room. Well, I didn't limit myself just to a certain type of blue and white china, English or Chinese. I really just love the color of blue and white on china. So I've bought lots of different pieces, and I've got lots of stories for each piece. This is a great transferware bowl. Look at the beautiful scene in there and the way that this is put together. Now also notice this charger. This is a Chinese charger. Now this is considered transferware. That's the process that's used to put this pattern on this bowl. The Chinese pieces are completely hand painted. Now this charger is quite a special charger. I'm going to tell you a little secret. This I bought for a client. It was very, very expensive, and when it arrived, it was broken into about 100 pieces. So it obviously was not good enough for the client. But I very carefully myself glued it all back together, and most times people have never noticed that it's broken at all. But I've enjoyed it always. So don't be afraid to have something that's not just quite perfect. If you can afford perfect, by all means have perfect. This is called a double happiness jar. It's Chinese as well. Would have been all hand painted. Quite old piece, very nice. Now this is an unusual little collection. This is my collection of lids. When I would go to England and buy antiques, I noticed that a lot of the dealers would have in their back corner a box full of lids and tops to crystal bowls and china pieces that they would never sell. I was always captivated by these lids. Well, I finally got a few of them to let go of them. And they said, well, what would you do with that? And I thought, well, I might hang them on the wall. And my real intention was to hang them on the wall, but I was moving and I put them all in this bowl to pack. And someone said, what a great idea to put your blue lids in that bowl. So they've been in here ever since. It was a lot easier than hanging them on the wall. But it's interesting to see them, and I get a kick out of them. So it's a nice way to display your blue and white china.